Life after 50 doesn't have to slow down. In fact, it can be your most vibrant chapter yet. Today, we're exploring how to live with intention, strength, and curiosity. Robin Kencel, reigning Miss Connecticut Senior America and U.S. Pro AM ballroom dance champion, joins us to share her insights on aging with purpose and embracing vitality and creating a life full of meaning and connection. Robin, thanks for being here at Live in the Bay.
Jessica, I'm so looking forward to our time together.
Yes, this is so amazing. I'm so happy you're here to talk about this with us. How do we create a life well lived?
You know, I think it starts with the fact that most of the world religions believe that we're made in the image and likeness of something bigger than ourselves. And thank God, because what if we were in charge of ourselves? But if you start there and you figure, okay, so that's all about love, kindness, joy, then it comes back to our individual self. And you've got to ask the question, or at least I've always asked myself the question, what am I here for? And that's where I started, and that's where I still start. What am I doing here, and am I living out day to day what I believe? Because I want to leave a legacy that's kindness. You know, people never remember what you say, but they always remember how you make them feel.
Yeah. Absolutely. And one thing you say is we kind of have to live in all the senses, you know, make sure that you're doing, taking care of the spiritual, the physical, the mental, the emotional. How do we tap into all the areas of life as we're living so busy and, you know, doing our own regular daily lives?
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think at your age, you sort of feel like you're the water skier and the boat is full of all these different things, career and perhaps children and spouses and partners. And then you get to I'm 67, and it's a little bit lighter, that boat. So then you can really look at, okay, what's important in these different areas? And I think it's a matter of taking apart what's not important, looking at your day, and where you're wasting time. I think a lot of us might be wasting time. We know the screens, but if you take those out and then say, all right, am I taking care of my body? Am I spending time in that spiritual piece? So I kind of naturally now look at each component and make sure I'm spending time in them. And if I'm not, you know, I know it because something doesn't feel right. Either my body will tell me or I'll feel a little disconnected to someone else or something else. So I think you've got to always be looking at yourself and asking yourself, are you living the way you want to be living?
If you're not, what is kind of the first couple things that you can do to assess, I want something better, I want something more for myself? Where should you, what do you do?
Yeah. I think the first part is really sitting down, and if you can't do it by yourself, go to a life coach, go to a therapist, and understand what are my values. Because if you're not living in sync with your values, you're not going to be happy. So that's a good place to start. Just even start with the old pen and paper. What are the things that are important to me? And then ask yourself, am I doing things to support them? For me, creativity is important, for example. And so that's why I'm still dancing. You know, I'm taking a train 2 hours to go to dance with my pro, but it's important. Spirituality is important. Every single day I'm doing practices.
I was going to ask you, how have you're a dance champion, how have you taken dance and, you know, applied that to your life and kind of how you look at this holistically?
Listen, ballroom dance is a negotiation. You're negotiating with your partner, you're negotiating with the music, yourself, and really, life is all about negotiation. For many years, I was in real estate, and I took it there. I took all those listening skills because it's listening, micro-listening. I recently started improvisational acting. Now, that's like falling off a cliff until you realize you've got a parachute, you need to pull the plug. In improvisational acting, you're given a word and a scene partner, and you just go with whatever comes to your mind. So I've got to really listen to what you say in order to respond.
Yes. We're heading into 2026, so I want to ask you this, leaving our audience with a piece of advice, just one piece of advice you would give to live a more, you know, well-lived life in 2026.
Really, to what we just said, listen to what's being said around you. Listen to what people are saying and respond to them in a way that's helpful to them and not yourself.
Yeah, and how can people follow you to kind of see everything that you're doing and just stay inspired?
You can find me on Instagram at Robin Kencel, or my website where I've got a lot of writings, www.robinkencel.com.
Okay, Robin, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom. I really appreciate it.